Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Jim Wendt. I'm the chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and I will call to order this regular meeting of April 2nd, 2024. Joining me are members Ron Stelmack, Ben Maini, and Christina McPhail. Also, some staff members are present. We have one matter on our public hearing agenda. Before I call that matter, I need to explain to the applicants here that you may know, hopefully, that in order to be successful, there are 5 regular members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, and under state law, you need 4 affirmative votes to get an approval. And since there are only 4 of us sitting tonight, that would require a unanimous vote of the 4 of us. If after deliberation, we don't have unanimous opinion, we will intend to hold the meeting over until we can get a 5th member to vote. If you understand that and are okay with proceeding under those terms, we will do so. So I just want to let you know that. And if you're okay, I see nodding of heads as an affirmative. So we will proceed. I will call the only matter for public hearing tonight is ZBA file 2024-03, 77 Millbrook Terrace. This is an application for proposed variance of section 3.1.5A to permit a 45.3 front yard setback in lieu of the required 50 feet minimum, located at 77 Millbrook Terrace, Ryan and Linnea Lang, owners. So I will turn it over to you or to whoever may be presenting this matter to explain what you're doing and answer any questions that we might have.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just going to interrupt for one moment. Do you need me to read the public hearing notice into the record?
No, I think I effectively, I think I did that. I think we can, I'll make a well, I'll ask for a motion to waive the reading of the call. Is there anybody who wishes to make a motion to that effect? I see Ron saying so moved, even though he's muted, and a second by way of hand from Christina. All those in favor of waiving the reading of the call, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I thank you. But I think we can proceed. So,
Excellent.
Mr. and Mrs. Lang, I don't know if you're presenting or if someone else is here to present on your behalf.
Yeah, so we have Ryan and Linnea Lang. We have Phil Katz with this, who's our engineer, who will be primarily doing the presentation. Introduce ourselves and you guys. Yes, we'll like to learn lovely daughters upstairs who are also hopeful.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you get a little closer to your mic? I can hear you, but the words are not very audible.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
Right, I'm sorry. So it's a docked setup. I'm afraid what's going to happen if I open the computer, but I can hold it closer. So yeah, we're Ryan and Linnea Lang. We have Phil Katz with us this evening, who's our engineer. He'll be doing, primarily be doing the presentation on our behalf. But we just wanted to introduce ourselves and Phil before we get started.
Thank you. Mr. Katz, the floor is yours.
Yes, I'd like to share the screen. Can somebody give me the right to do that?
Hold on, let me try that. All right, does that give you the option?
There we go. Perfect. Let's see. All right. Beginning. Let's see if this works. Okay. Can everyone see that?
We can. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Philip Katz. I'm a licensed civil engineer. I've been helping the Langs and trying to figure out how to put an addition onto their house. I've been practicing for about 40 years. This is the property. It's at 77 Millbrook Terrace. These are the Langs. You've met them. There's also meet their lovely daughters here. So what they're looking at doing is expanding their house. It's kind of as they're a growing family, trying to get more room and whatnot. We looked at various options. Some of them were expanding out the side and the back and whatever. Expanding out the front seemed to be the most prudent option, and I'll demonstrate that hopefully. The neighbors have been notified within 100 feet. Proof of mailing has been delivered to the town. I assume that's in the record. Is that correct? Have you received those?
We have a list of folks, but I'm presuming the staff has the mailing. We did also receive, there are 3 letters in the record from neighbors, so.
Okay. All right, just making sure. There also was a narrative, the wetlands report, A2 survey, site plan, floor plans and elevations, and again, several letters of support were received. So that should be all in the record at this point. This is their property, 77 Millbrook Terrace. The red line outlines the boundary of the property. It's about 1.3 acres. It's in zone RF1, which requires a 50-foot setback on the property. You can see in the brown in the middle of the screen. I don't know oh, here it is. Here's my pointer. The brown in the middle is the existing house. There's a deck out back, and the magenta color is the addition, a bigger deck, and then the addition coming out the front. The blue line represents the setback line, so you can see they're just over that line. These are the existing elevations of the house. These are drawn, just to give you an idea of what it looks like right now. These are also then pictures of that. This is the front yard, the right side of the house. This is the rear. This is showing that deck, existing deck that's there. And this is the left elevation. Let me show you the existing floor plan. The front is to the bottom. So the front is the living room, dining room, kitchen, the master bedroom here, and then there's 2 bedrooms in the front. The first floor is built over the garage, which comes approximately to these stairs. So this is over top of their garage. And then below this is the mechanical room, and there's a family room. The existing deck goes out the back. This is the proposed floor plan. Just orienting you again, this is the existing front wall. This is the limit of their house existing. You can see the existing size of the deck. So what they're looking at doing in the rear is just adding a deck that's screened in for a portion of it, and the balance would be an open deck as it exists today. This front shows the setback line. It shows approximately how much they're going to be over that line. And there's a couple reasons for that. You know, they're looking at trying to expand this living room area a bit, kind of creating an open floor plan, taking out the wall that separates the dining room from the living room. And then they also are trying to get a separate kind of entryway here. It also kind of lines up with their sidewalk, which is created here. You can see this kind of lines up, and then this would be the extent of where that addition would be. Looking at the second floor, the left side of that building, the house would not have anything above it. It would just be the existing roof. Their addition is primarily coming over top of the right side of the house, where I said it's kind of over the garage. So they're adding a couple bedrooms, and one of the bedrooms will be, well, actually 3 bedrooms. One will be used for an office for work at home arrangements. In the rear of their house is the Copper Mill Brook. You can see it kind of traversing across the property. And that's one of their hardships, which I'll demonstrate hopefully on this map. This is kind of a busy map. Again, this is their site plan. Millbrook Terrace is over on this side, and they have a number of encumbrances and restrictions that are put on their property. You start with 1.3 acres, but again, here's the Copper Mill Brook in blue, light blue. So this yellow piece of property, they can't really access because they'd have to go across the stream and, you know, through wetlands. So they couldn't do anything on that. There's also a small tributary to the brook, which comes in on this side. So again, this yellow area is kind of unusable land. The town has a couple drainage easements. There's one here that drains Millbrook Terrace back to the brook. So that's a restricted piece of their property. And the town also has a drainage easement over on this side. Continuing some of the issues on their property, there's wetlands. This was delineated by soil scientists, which I believe you have their report, which shows where that is. There's also the septic system is in the rear. So the rear of the lot is not the best place to put an addition based on these encumbrances that are there. In addition, the Copper Mill Brook has a 150-foot regulated area, which this is that blue line that goes, this dashed blue line here. And then the green line, which is here, is the regulated area for the wetlands. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that restrict what you can do easily on the property, and locating it up in this corner is kind of the least offensive, if you will, to what's on the property. And that's why they're seeking a variance to be able to put that in the front. Just so you can see the property from the neighbor's view, this is from the right side of their house. Look, 85, their house is down here. So you can't really see much of the front yard. And then this is from the left side. You can see a little bit of their house through the woods in here. This is the proposed front elevation. What we tried to do is put a gable as that's coming out, the living room, trying to create some bright space in there. This is the roof line of the existing house, so we're not raising that at all. This is their first floor. And what we tried to do is put the second floor addition kind of in a shed dormer off the front of it, so we're not raising the elevation too much in the front. From the right side, you can see how we put these shed dormers. This is the shape of their existing roof, so we try to do is raise that front part so you could have the additional room in the upper floors without really extending the height of the building. This dash line represents the setback line. So you can kind of see how that kind of lines up with entryway they want to create in the front of the house. This shows the deck in the back, the screen deck. This is a rear elevation. It looks very tall here because the lot drops off from the front to the back. There's it's a whole story that's exposed in the back that you don't see in the front view. This right side is the screened-in porch, and then this is the open deck on this side. And then this is from the left elevation, and again you can see where that setback line is in relation to the building. As you had said, there was a number of 3 or 4 letters that were written in support of the project. This was from 65 Millbrook Terrace, which is one of their neighbors. This is from 78 Millbrook Terrace, another one of their neighbors. And this was from actually a local real estate agent that lives behind them on Monroe Road. Since you've received these, they also got an email. I don't know if we can put this into the record, from 71 Mill Terrace, which is just to the left of them. Again, this was an email that they had provided in support of the project. That's what I have to share tonight. Hopefully we've demonstrated, some of the issues in trying to put an addition on this property, and how we've tried to minimize the impacts to the various things that are going on the lot. And at this point, I think either myself or the Langs would be able to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Katz. Can you go back a few slides to the site plan that has all the colors on it? Because I just want to confirm something that I believe I know. Thank you. The purple box there that extends beyond the setback that you're seeking relief for,
Right.
that is a single-story portion of the addition, correct? And the second floor above the brown existing footprint is all compliant with the regulations, and the only relief you're seeking is for the single-story portion that projects forward. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes. Yep.
And if I understood the application narrative in your testimony correctly, it's the presence of the wetlands in the existing septic system that's in the rear would make the wetlands makes relocating that septic system a difficult proposition to extend out to the rear, and that's really the most limiting factor here. Is that?
Yes, that's correct. Because you need certain separations from the septic system for the buildings and things like that.
Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions. I'll ask any members of the board. I can't see everybody in this view. So if you have a question, please just identify yourself before speaking and go ahead and ask your question. Going once, going twice. Ron, did you have a question?
I did not.
Okay. All right. It doesn't appear that the board members have any questions. Mr. Katz, you did an excellent presentation, and then and I will ask at this point, maybe if you could stop sharing your screen, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, that's fine.
That's all right. I don't know that there's anybody here or on the phone that's not part of this application, but seeing it doesn't look like there are any members from the questions from the board. Is there anybody here that has any questions or wishes to be heard on this matter? I don't know if our host, is there anybody on the phone that's not on the Zoom call?
Not that I can see.
Okay. So I don't see any public that wishes to be heard, unless you have anything else, Mr. or Mrs. Lang, to add. We can close the public hearing if okay. All right. I appreciate the presentation. We will therefore close the public hearing, as it looks like all the questions have been answered and there are no public that wish to be heard. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
We will move on to balance the agenda. Item number 3 is listed as pending minutes. I did not see any minutes in the packet that I received, nor do I believe I was present for that meeting on the 9th. So I don't know if the remaining members have those minutes and want to vote, or we can hold those over. I don't see a copy of them. I don't know if you folks have them or not. I know I was not present at the meeting on the 9th, so
You were not present. Unfortunately, I did not check the packet specifically for that before they went out. So if
okay. I will suggest then that we table the minutes and hold that over for the next meeting. And then we can, is there anybody that has I will then open up discussion on this application we just heard, 77 Millbrook Terrace. Does any member of the board wish to make a motion? Christina?
I motion to approve.
Move to approve by Christina. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Seconded by Ron. Okay. For discussion, do you have any comments or anything to say, Christina?
It's a small set. It's a difference of less than 5 feet, I believe. Plus they have the septic restriction and they have the wetlands kind of restricting them from other options of building. It's such a small variance that I think for their family, the hardship in moving the septic or, you know, not being able to build at all is enough.
Thank you. Ron? Any comment on the motion, Ron?
No comment?
Okay. Ben, do you have anything to add?
I agree. I mean, I think the other hardship, the hardship of the land and the setbacks and the you know, the septic and the wetlands and the other easements make it very difficult to do any other configurations. So I agree with the motion that has been presented.
Okay. Again, Jim Went for the record. I agree with the comments I've heard thus far. I think this is a reasonable application. I'm pleased to see all of the abutting neighbors have chimed in positively, agreeing that this will be a positive enhancement to their neighborhood. And I think for the reasons stated, the restrictions that exist on this property, I think warrant a finding of hardship here. So I intend to support this application as well. So therefore, I will call a vote on the motion. All those in favor of the motion to approve, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the matter is approved 4-0. Good luck to you, Mr. and Mrs. Lang. I hope this is turns out to be an excellent addition for you and your family.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Good luck.
I don't see any other matters on this agenda, so I think we can adjourn. I thank you all for being here. I know, Ben, this is a challenging time for you to be present, so thank you very much for that. And well, we'll see you all the next time. Thanks very much. We can
All
stay
right.
adjourned.